Hello and thanks for joining us on TVC News at this hour. We begin in the nation's capital where landlords with property distorting the city master plan are now living in apprehension. This follows a warning by the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike telling them to desist or have such property demolished. We have details in this report.
While addressing a press conference shortly after the swearing-in ceremony at the presidential villa, Mr. Wike promised to sanitize and secure the country's capital. The former governor of Rivers State noted that despite being a member of the opposition party, the People's Democratic Party backed his acceptance of the ministerial appointment. He also told the department under the ministry to map out strategies to move the FCT forward, while promising to uphold the trust President Bola Tinubu has in him.
You don't like those who will step on toes. I will step on toes. Because you cannot be claiming FCT is not working. When you have not done your own part, do your own part, then be able to say, look, of all the money we have been paying, what are they using in FCT? That is then when you have the border to talk. Not when you have not fulfilled your own obligation. And two, all those agents collecting revenue, we have to sit down. I have to look at everything. The revenue leakages, I will stop it. I will stop it. Because we need money to build infrastructure in FCT. We need to bring the parks back.
The former Rivers State governor's warning also went out to landowners who had taken over the greener areas to build properties, saying those areas must come back.
And following Monday's swearing-in of ministers, indigents of Ebonyi State are commending President Bola Tinubu for the choice of former Governor David Umahi as Minister of Works. They also expressed confidence that the new Minister of Works would replicate the good work he did in Ebonyi State in tackling infrastructural deficiencies in Nigeria. The indigents spoke at a grand reception organized for the minister shortly after his swearing-in. They called on other Igbo ministers appointed by President Tinubu to be worthy ambassadors.
His choice signifies anxiety to do things well. So the federal government is correct, made a very good choice, and we believe he will live up to the expectation.
I know surely that our president will not go to the market and settle for the less. He has chosen the right one for the job. And I know surely that all over the country will be crying of infrastructure, decay in infrastructure. Governor David Umahi, by the special grace of God, will help fixing all the infrastructures across the country.
By this rare breed engineer, Governor David Umahi. No wonder the wisdom in Mr. President in choosing him to come and replicate what he did in Ebonyi State in the entire nation. I'm not surprised when I visited Ebonyi. I saw the development there, and I believe that development is for somebody who is composed, somebody who is highly motivated.
To appreciate the president, to support the president, and to know that the president came by divine fingers of God, and no power on earth can remove the person that God has blessed and brought to leadership.
And in a related development, Niger State Governor Umaru Bago Monday swore in 30 new commissioners. He also set up 8 new ministries, which includes the Ministry of Nomadic and Pastoral Affairs, to handle herders. We have details in this report.
It is time to hit the ground running in Niger State with the swearing-in of the new commissioners. The expectations are high on every ministry, but the Ministry of Homeland Security has a lot on its table. considering the level of insecurity bedeviling some parts of Niger State.
Governor Bago has been emphatic on his new strategy to address the recent rise in banditry activities through dialogue with the bandits. This is why the new Ministry of Nomadic and Pastoral Affairs was set up.
Muna kira da babban murya ƴan uwanmu wanda suka bauɗe suka shiga daji su yi haƙuri su ajiye makamai su zo don a samu inganci kuma a ci gaba.
30 new special advisors were also sworn in. No doubt there is an uphill task ahead of this set of commissioners and advisors, and their performance will determine if meaningful progress will be made, not just in security, but in every sector in the state.
To hit the ground running from the first day, to key into the agenda that we have set, so that we can deliver the dividend of democracy to the people.
Expectations are high, but I just want to assure Nigeria to be more patient. And what we need at this time is prayers and their support so that we can all work collectively together for the betterment of our state, our dear state, and, you know, attracting investors and making them to understand that a lot can be achieved.
As the priority areas, we have to look at the employment, agriculture, SME, other sectors that affect women, even the disabled. They are part of our responsibility to see how we can get them fixed in the system and ensure that women are really given the right opportunity, you know, to excel.
The governor says all the appointments were based on merit and competence. Chanemi Bamei, TVC News, Mina.
We turn our attention now to the southeast, where Enugu State Governor Peter Mbah swore in Chris Robert Ozongu as the new Commissioner for Budget and Planning. The swearing-in of Mr. Robert Ozongu at the Government House, Enugu State, now brings the number of commissioners in the State Executive Council to 21. Governor Mbah charged him to key into his administration's innovation drive to improve the well-being of residents. He also urged him to see his appointment as a call to service.
We would be expecting that engaging with other members of your team, because they've all been told what the output targets are across the different sectors. And they now have to go back and put those in an actionable plan. And that actionable plan would include the cost implication. And we will sit together and figure out how to find the money, because it will not be business as usual.
I can assure you that I will be there fighting for you in any front or the assignments you've given me, and I will discharge my duty in good faith and with respect and cooperation of my colleagues. I can assure you that we will do our best.
And away from State Executives Council formation, Borno State Governor Babagana Zulum has distributed food palliatives to 12,200 vulnerable households living in Muna, Customs and Ngwam communities. At least 73,200 persons will benefit, as each of these households are made up of 6 persons. TVC News' Jesse Tafida has details.
This is a continuation of palliative distribution by Governor Babagana Zulum to ease the hardship from the removal of fuel subsidy. The governor expresses delight with President Tinubu's commitment in supporting the vulnerable people in this trying time.
As you may be aware of the recent developments that has happened in Nigeria, the president has approved for the release of 5 billion naira. Federal government is magnanimous enough to give 52% of this money as grants to state, while the 48% is to be paid back by states and local government councils.
The 12,200 beneficiaries comprises of 7,000 male heads of households and 5,200 female heads of households. Each of the male heads went home with a bag of rice, sorghum grain, while the female received a carton of pasta and one wrapper each.
So far, so good. We have started procuring the items, and by tomorrow we shall also use part of the quantity that has been procured under the presidential initiatives. So we want to express our sincere appreciation to the federal government under the leadership of His Excellency Bola Tinubu for this very important gesture that he did to the state government.
The beneficiaries appreciate the gesture and promised to use the food items judiciously to alleviate their sufferings. The state government assures to continue the distribution of such palliative to other parts of the state. Jessie Tafida, TVC News, Maiduguri.
We'll take a break now. When we return,